Hey everyone, my name is Wedge. The PAX East Magic panel that took place yesterday brought with it a few amazing new spoilers, including our last Dragonlord and Big Daddy Sarkhan himself. I think you're going to enjoy this, there's no time to waste. Stormwing Dragon is 6 mana for a 3/3 dragon with flying and first strike, and Megamorph costing 7 mana. When it's turned face up, put a +1/+1 counter on each other dragon creature you control. I love the flavor of the card. It looks really cool, but outside of limited, this is just way too expensive. The actual cost, the morph cost, both are just too high. It is flying and first strike, and I get that those are both valuable keywords to have, but to Megamorph for 7 mana, it's a lot of mana. Dragon Tribal probably won't even have room for something this crazy. I think the card is cool, but just really, really expensive. Epic Confrontation is 2 mana for a sorcery. Target creature you control gets +1/+2 until end of turn. It fights target creature you don't control. Let's talk about this card seriously for a moment. No, look at the art. That's Surrak punching a dragon. We're no longer in bear punching country. This is dragon punching country. I gotta say, Narset is a walker, Zurgo plays the bells in a marching band, Sidisi is undead, Anafenza died, I know, you weren't ready, sorry, and Surrak is punching dragons now. It really seems like he came out nearly on top. Narset is the only one arguably doing better. I mean, come on, the dude is punching a dragon in the mouth for the frontier forever. Sunbringer's Touch is 2 colorless and 2 green for a sorcery. Bolster X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it gains trample until end of turn. I don't think I'm the only one, but this card seems super weird. I like the trample for the turn, but bolstering based on your hand size on a double green spell, does that feel peculiar to anybody else? I'm not even sure about the power level, to be honest. I think it requires you to sit back way too much for it to really be useful, you know? The jury is still out for me, but I don't expect it to make that many waves in any format, honestly. Cunning Breeze Dancer is 4 colorless, 1 white, and 1 blue for a 4/4 flying dragon at uncommon. It also has what I like to call Mega Prowess. No idea why Wizards didn't do that, but whatever. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Seriously though, why no Mega Prowess? You already dove deep with Mega Morph. Anyways, the card's a limited bomb. It's a huge flyer for a huge cost. The ability does make it a 6/6 off of 1 trigger, which is much larger than most, and can actually fight an Elder Dragon in the air. The problem with this for Constructed is that Blue-White Heroic would want it, but it's way too expensive. Also, I'm pretty sure Kaiba is the only one who's allowed to own these. It's just a rumor, though. We'll take a break from PAX spoilers to bring you a midday spoiler from yesterday. Dragonlord Atarka is 5 colorless, 1 red, and 1 green for an 8/8 legendary creature Elder Dragon with flying and trample. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers your opponents control. Wow, Atarka is huge. Okay, so it enables Formidable all by itself. Let's start there. 8 power will do that. It also has Trample, which is perfect for something so large. You don't want your opponent chump blocking with random flyers. We've talked before about the magical 5 toughness, and I'm bringing it up again here. Atarka kills Siege Rhino on entry to the battlefield. That's worth a lot. Keeping the power hype train going, this makes a great Whip of Erebos target. You get 5 damage on the way in, and another 8 from the swing. It's devastating. Don't like that route? 7 mana is not that much for an 8/8 with flying and a relevant ability. You can play this in a green-red ramp deck, a Jund ramp or control type strategy. Look, Atarka is gigantic and has a high mana cost, but don't let that deter you. This dragon is powerful and is one of the better Dragonlords for Constructed play. You've got serious value here. Back to pack stuff. Dragonlord Ojutai is the last of our Elder Dragons to be spoiled, in classic blue-white fashion after all. Anyways, he's 3 colorless, 1 white, and 1 blue for a 5/4 legendary creature Elder Dragon with flying. He also has hexproof as long as he's untapped. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. This is definitely one of the more constructed playable Elder Dragons. The 5 power for 5 is perfect. Hexproof while being untapped is great. 5 mana is perfectly reasonable. And the last ability lets you loot into protection for him. Sure, your opponent can use removal when they attack, but by then a whole turn has gone by since you dropped Ojutai. Your shield should be up and he should be alive since he'll have hexproof the entire time after you tap out for him. Yes, you die to Crackling Doom and stuff like that, but overall it's pretty resilient. Even if you go mid-range and use Jeskai Ascendancy or something, it's a great way to enable the hexproof. Ojutai is the right power for the right cost, with the right protection, with the right ability. There is competition for control finishers, but in a blue-white based mid-range deck, Ojutai has potential. I have no doubt that this is the card you've all been waiting for. Sarkhan Unbroken is 2 colorless, 1 green, 1 blue, and 1 red for a 4 loyalty planeswalker who is definitely for the frontier. You can +1 to draw a card, then add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. You can also -2 to put a 4/4 red dragon token with flying onto the battlefield. No big deal. Lastly, you can -8 to search your library for any number of dragon creature cards and put them onto the battlefield. I have to hold back tears of happiness. Yeah, you see that correctly. Sarkhan is Teamer. This might be the best day ever. With Sarkhan, you can play all the dragons. Read that last ability again. Any number of dragons. All the dragons. How is this not the deck you're building right now? In every format, just massive amounts of dragons. Just a lot of dragons. Sarkhan's +1 is stupid value. Gives you a card straight up and gives you perfect mana fixing at the same time. Seems good. That's because it is. His -2 protects him. Players are always worried about walkers who don't protect themselves. Sarkhan sticks a giant flying lizard in your face. I'd call that decent protection. Worst case scenario, he can kill himself for 2 4/4 flying lizards. I'd still call that value, but that's just me. Ignoring his infinite Dragon Storm for a second, Teamer midrange is totally a thing now. Sarkhan enables that deck by himself. Everyone, the frontier is about to make big waves. Realistically, Sarkhan gives this deck a lot more reach, power, and value. He's an important addition, and I think Green-Red Monsters players are going to consider splashing blue now. At least some of them will if they haven't already converted over to Teamer midrange. It's definitely worth testing. These spoilers, am I right? I don't even know what they could have left to reveal next week. We got the last of the Dragonlords. We got new Teamer Sarkhan, for the Frontier by the way. This set seems really, really cool. The hype is getting to stupidly high levels. Just think about it. The 2 workers in this set are a tricolor Sarkhan and Narset. I'm just so done right now. I need all the cards, all of them. Let me know how you feel in the comments. I cannot be the only one hyped beyond reason right now. As always, subscribe below for the latest and most reliable Dragons of Tarkir spoiler information you could ever need. This is the Manosaurus. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.